Hi everybody. So, for those of you that don't know us, my name's Ron.
I'm Lauren, aka Laren.
And this is our cargo trailer conversion build. So what you're looking at right here is a 2021 Continental Cargo 7x16 trailer with a 7-foot height. A guy like me, I'm not a basketball player. I can't even reach the top of this thing.
I can't either.
So we've spent about a month putting this thing together. We're going to take you through what it does, how we wanted it to happen, maybe give you some ideas yourself if you're planning on doing this, or if you keep up with us or you know us, this is pretty much a catch-up of what we've been doing for the last
month and a half.
Yeah, the last couple months. All right, so we're going to take you through some of it.
I'm going to go first and talk a little bit about the decor, since I was kind of in charge of that portion. Will Ronald did the build part, and he'll tell you the more technical specs about our trailer. So to start, I'm going to point out some of the things back here. Got a couple of blankets here. Anyone that knows me knows that I am a fiend for blankets. Right now there's just two. I've got a Disney one, and below it there's a Pusheen. And we have a little blanket for our cat Durf. Crayola doesn't love it as much. Here we set up a table that Ronald built for us, and some folding chairs. Well, in transit these items won't be out, but we've got plates, for a full meal set, record player with records so we have some music to listen to, books, if you like to have a smoke break, art from some of our friends, a photo that I took on one of our last trips in Yellowstone National Park that I had printed. Back on this side, a picture that a friend made for me of my cat that is no longer with us. I did a lemon theme for the kitchen and for our shower, which I thought was pretty fun. It kind of matched the aesthetic that I was going for, with the kind of flowy, very, light, colorful theme. Matches the trim color that we picked. And that's pretty much it. We do have some stuff in storage, which I could show you some of those things as well. Up top here, this is going to be where we keep all of our dishes and stuff. Don't really have a lot, don't really need a lot. This is more than enough for 2 people. It's nice to have a little extra just in case we ever have visitors. This one has nothing in it yet. In here is our battery, which you'll hear more about when Ronald gets into the technical items of it. This side, this one's currently empty, which I'm sure we'll be adding stuff there too. And in here we have some food and like seasonings and stuff. There'll be more stuff there as well. Okay. And then underneath the bed, I'm not going to lift it right now, but this bed does lift up into a Murphy bed. And underneath, I have 3 bins full of clothing and accessories and stuff for me. There's a bin under there for Ronald, because he has less clothing and things that I do. And some camping chairs, stuff like that. So we have a few more things that we're going to add in as far as like pictures and stuff when they come. Got more friends making some art that we would love to display. And other than that, she's pretty much ready to roll.
Folks, now I'm going to bore you with all of the technical stuff. I like to say the last but not least. Maybe it's the least for you, but if you're building it, this is some stuff that you might want to know. Alright, so this trailer right now has 2 and the ability of a 3rd way to power it. This camper has a couple different ways of it being powered as well as watered. We've got lemon trees here, we gotta keep them watered. So how we power it is either by a Honda EU 2200 generator, which is currently powering the unit right now, or we also have a 30 amp NEMA plug on the exterior of this camper, and we have a 15 amp plug. We also have solar that runs it as well through a battery and a charge controller inverter. So let me take you into some of the technicals on that charging system. Trailer, we have 4 100-watt panels that are wired in series, and they're coming into the roof right here. They come into this cabinet. And the reason that we're doing that, we're keeping everything up high, is we want to keep those wire runs really short. We want to minimize any kind of internal resistance from having long runs of wire. So we have 4 100-watt panels. They come into this charge controller right here. This is a Renogy Rover. It's a 40 amp MPPT controller. Right now it's currently charging at 15 amps. And that charges in Ampere time, 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery, which also runs to a 2500 watt inverter. Now that inverter and all of this is tied under the trailer into a 30 amp load center, which I'll show. So that 12 volt power actually terminates over here. We have a 12 volt distribution center, has rocker panels for lights, as well as our water pump. And we also have USB charging and a 12 volt line for a cigarette lighter and the such. We have a 30 amp load center underneath here. Everything that runs over to this side of the trailer is going to run through that load center. Basically, we got power. What you need to know is that you can put a lithium iron phosphate battery in a wall cabinet. It's 200 amp hours. We have about 180 amp hours of capacity available with that battery, because we're taking it down to what, 10% of total, or 10% charge, 90% total discharge. It's safe up here, guys, and you don't gotta vent it. There's no off-gassing. It's a really amazing chemistry to go with. What we did to keep the power really simple is we kept all of our 120 on this wall. This is where we're gonna be using everything. This is where we want the power at. We have a 15 amp dedicated receptacle over there that runs our air conditioner, and in the winter time it can also run a small space heater if we wanted to put a little thin space heater up on top of that air conditioner. Everything else is wired with 14.3 stranded wire, and it's good for 15 amps. Everything else, we have 3 receptacles on one 15 amp breaker. We have 1 receptacle on a 15 amp breaker. We got a TV going in here. We have kitchen appliances here. We have cell phones here and here. We really don't need too much more than that. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is plumbing. How do we get water in here, guys? And did we spend a fortune on holding tanks? The answer is no. When we open this, you'll see we have some damp rid in here. I put that in the trailer just to keep our humidity in spec here in Florida. That's a 30-gallon drum, and we got it for, I think, $5 from somebody. We sterilized it. We did a baking soda wash with it, just in case there was anything that's low on the pH scale. We wanted to be able to neutralize it. So we did a baking soda wash with marbles inside of it. Then we did a chlorine wash. We did a soap wash. We used an antibacterial cleaner. It's a good way to have really cheap water storage, folks. It's 30 gallons, and if you look at actual RV holding tanks, you're gonna spend over $100 for them. So $5, that runs underneath here to a 3 gallon per minute C-flow pump. That's got a filter in line. We also have filters on the outside of this trailer, as well as check valves, preventing any kind of backflow. And that just runs through some 1/2-inch PEX line over to our faucet. And we have this awesome folding drip tray. Check the comments out. I'll put a link for this, as well as this and a bunch of other stuff that you're seeing in this video. And the only water termination that we have is going to be this sink and our shower here. Moving on to the shower. Oh my God, you heathens! Seriously, this is our shower. It's 36 by 34 inches. We did travel in a van for a while. One thing that we knew traveling in a van is that in this trailer, we needed some height and we needed the ability to take a hot shower on demand. We didn't want to be in rest stops. We didn't want to have to shower at truck stops. We wanted to shower, and we wanted to be comfortable, not like an RV shower that's really tiny. So you can really spread out in here. We got a GASLAND 1.58 gallon permanent water heater. This thing is scalding hot. You're gonna get burnt within 10 seconds. It will literally take water from 70 degrees to 140 that fast. So we use that to heat our water. It's been very reliable so far.
We got a potty.
And this right here, folks, is our toilet. It's a Thetford camper potty. It is a cassette toilet, basically. And it's really easy to use. These units, you just lift them up. They have a little toilet seat on them and a little latch. You can open this up. We've got some water and some chemical in here that you can see. And that's all that you need. This thing completely comes apart. You can walk it into any truck stop, anywhere that has a bathroom, and just dump this thing out. And it also flushes too. Yeah. So if you don't have one, we bought ours, I believe, at Walmart about 4 years ago. We paid a little bit over $60 for it. About plumbing, and we're talking about gas water heaters. Let's talk about our range right here. All of this is powered from a propane tank. We just have a T on it, or a Y connector. And we got one line going to our stovetop. The other line goes through to our shower. I have not had to replace that thing yet. As long as you're conservative with your gas, these things do not use a lot of energy. They really don't. We got this on Amazon, as well as our water heater as well. Oh, and also our lemons. Our lemons came from Amazon. What about this?
Our unbreakable plates came from Amazon. It's a whole set. You get 4 place settings.
You get 4 place settings. Amazon, Amazon, Amazon.
Thrift store.
Amazon. 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 Folks, Amazon. 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 Is there a theme here? The theme is that during a pandemic, one of the few places that you can actually rely on when you're building something is Amazon. I know they're taking over the world, but folks, you get great customer service and they deliver on time almost every time. One of the last things that I'm going to humor you with. One of the last 2 things I'm going to humor you with is going to be the air conditioner. And for a lot of you, that's going to be a big deal, especially if you're down doing like the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, if you're going to be in Quartzsite, Arizona, if you're going to go out on BLM land in the desert.
If you're me.
If you're Lauren, you want to be cold. Folks, I bet that you're thinking to yourself, you have to run that generator to run this air conditioner all of the time, don't you? And the answer to that is no. We run this air conditioner for how many hours a night, Lauren?
8, sometimes longer.
8 to 10, sometimes up to 12 hours. Now that's at nighttime, and there's a bunch of caveats to that, folks. But we use this 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery to power a 9500 BTU air conditioner. We're doing that from usually about 10 p.m. at night to anywhere from 8 to 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm keeping it, when I'm sleeping, about 73 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit in South Florida. This battery is only pulling, the draw is something like 45 to 60 amp hours a night. That can be done.
And coming from someone that hates being hot, like I Florida, where it feels like 106 outside, it was comfortable. It wasn't like, oh, it's still kind of hot. So comfortable, gets cold, comfortable to sleep. I recommend it. If you're like me and you hate the heat, that's your bad boy.
So I do want to explain and take a little bit of time on this air conditioner, and the only reason why is a lot of people are not familiar with the inverter technology. So this is an LG dual inverter system. What that basically means is a lot of your window units and your rooftop units and some of your mini splits have a compressor that when you turn it on, when it's cooling, it's on, when it's at temperature, it's off, and when it kicks on, it's a large load, it's a spike current. And because of that surge current to get the compressor running, a lot of your smaller generators like a Honda 2200 won't run them. This thing starts off at 50 watts and goes anywhere from 50 to 1190 watts max output, and then it tapers itself down. And it tapers itself down to anywhere from about 220 to 500 watts when it's maintaining. And when it's on energy saver at nighttime, this air conditioner only runs about 5 minutes an hour. And that's how we're able to do this with such a small battery. And our BMS is limited to 100 amps. So we never exceed 100 amps on draw. And this thing keeps it ice cold in here, folks. Like, I'm like literally, if you look at my skin, I'm starting to get goosebumps. Like, it's cold in here right now. I have this air blowing on me. I'm freezing, and she loves it.
Ah, that's great. I could probably live as an Eskimo.
So with that being the case, listen, if you folks are interested in doing a setup like this, we're running it on an Ampere time 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate with 100 amp BMS. We're able to pull max current from this thing without a problem. I've never once hit overload protection or any kind of discharge protection on this battery. That's all I've really got to say. Is there anything you got to say? We are going to edit the crap out of this.
Yes.
Take all the boring parts out.
That means everything he says is coming right on out.
It means all of the technicals. Listen.
And all the technicals, people are going to be like, don't care.
She jokes, but believe me, I know technicals bore people. They really excite me. I love talking about technical side of things. I know it bores people. One last thing that we do have in here, the cord that you see behind me goes to a Victron Blue Wave IP67 battery charger. When we're on shore power or generator, this thing's able to charge our battery up to 17 amps an hour. It also works in tandem with our charge controller. So at 17 amps plus another 13 amps on solar, we're sitting right at the 40 amp maximum that we can charge this battery with. It's a really great idea to get that. I tell you guys, Victron reigns supreme.
And also, if you guys want to see more content, I'm sure there'll be more things on Instagram, for Annie's Instagram at I'm.annie.the.vanny.com. I'll add a link for Annie's Instagram.
Folks, all you got to do is stay tuned. Subscribe to this page. We're actually going to take you through the build of this trailer when it was just a lowly cargo trailer, when there was nothing going on. We'll take you from that all the way to what it is now. We'll hook you up with all the links you need to get everything you need. If you see stuff you like in this trailer, if you want to incorporate it into your build, click on the link below.
And I'll hook you up with an Instagram link at some point.
Folks, thank you for following us. Keep yourself subscribed to see all of the updates, all right? Bye, everybody. One last thing. Only one. I wanted to save it till the end for you folks.
But wait, there's more!
We're gonna just mess up the bed. We just made it. We're gonna mess it up just for you. We promised you a Murphy bed. It's a really, really, really easy design. If you want to build one, you don't know what you're going to do, and it seems very complicated, there's some plans online. This is really, really easy. Check this out. All right, so here we go. Let me just show you what we've done. This is super, super easy. You don't have to use cam straps to hold your mattress in place. We did because it was an easy solution, and I'm kind of a fan of easy sometimes. But all we did was build a normal platform bed. This is the same platform that you would just simply mount to the wall. But what I did was just get some floor flanges and a couple pieces of iron pipe. I want to say that's 6-inch long iron pipe. 3/4 inch, and then just some floor flanges on each side. And whenever we want to, this is really, really easy. Listen, I don't even have to take the pillows off the bed. We didn't even have to unmake the bed. If you're ready to get snuggled up in bed,
The blankets are ready.
It actually pulls the blankets back for you. Listen, why this is really important, if you haven't traveled like in a van or an RV that has one of those, like a Casita has, like a breakdown bench dinette type configuration, those can really be a pain to set up and break down at the end of the day. You have to undo your bed, you got to move cushions, You got to put everything together. You just lift this up. When we were traveling in our van cross country, we built our bed into a similar type of configuration that was a dinette during the day and it was a bed at night. We used it a handful of times while camping, and when we actually went full-time traveling, we never once used it. We never used it one time over a year going across country 4 separate times. We never once used it because it was such a hassle to break down and put up. Something like this, all you gotta do, folks, like, it comes right up. We have access to everything, including our breaker box, all of our electronics. We have all of our clothes down here. And any sort of junk. Like, even if I wanted to crawl underneath, here I could. You know how sometimes, ladies, you want to put your husband in the doghouse? Just kick him right out of the bed and put him on the couch. Just put him under the bed. If you have this bed, you can fit your significant other underneath this bed. Just give him a blanket and a towel. Say, hey, buddy.
Good luck.
Have fun.
See how many nights he spends under there.
Maybe a few. Who knows? All right. Bye. Okay, film me.
Rub-a-dub-dub. One Ronnie in a tub. Welcome home. What's the mint for?
Or it broke.
Oh, I was like, alright.
Okay. So remember, we can make bloopers right now. We can just fuck up. I can be like, hey.
Ah! That will probably make it in because I'm silly.
All right, cut. Laren,
What the fuck do I say?
I'll let you have the ability through a cam switch. Ah, fuck. All right, cut. Just a little bit. Are you on me? Are you even on me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
And through that load center. Fuck all that. You guys don't want to hear all that. I'll edit that out.
They don't. They don't want to hear it. They're like, fuck your technical shit.
Everyone's like, screw that noise.
They're like, where did you get the lemon curtain? Put that girl back on.
So basically we got power.